I did not know that you actually did training with Floyd Wickman. And yeah, I mean, we all did the Sweat Hogs way back
That's
and all that good stuff. I mean, we're talking about, one of the greats.
one of the greats, one of the greats.
And I think I have a little bit of history that's a little bit similar to yours, not to turn the show on me or anything like that, the newspaper thing, the odd jobs and all that good stuff. And then, being, underneath the wings of Mike Ferry, so
Okay.
go back in history, it was Mike and Floyd. So
That's right. I think the two of them had a meeting maybe, and they split the country in half. Mike, you take the West Coast. I'm taking the East Coast. Yep, that's true. Those two guys dominated real estate training back in the day. And so, but now we got a bunch of different, and I think, training has changed over the years because the real estate has changed and technology has changed and really has impacted how we do our business, makes us more effective, and it creates new challenges as well. But anyway, yes, we're reminiscing here. Anybody while listening to Chadi and I, we're just reminiscing about the good old days. All right.
Good old days, man. Good old days. Yeah, I just turned 24 years old, and I feel like I'm not messing with you.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's a whole other program with a whole nother recipe on how to stay younger. All right, Daryl, we're going to get into some of the good stuff in a few moments. But before I do that, I'm looking at your background. So some people are watching this and they can see your background. Some people are listening to this and don't see the background. And I see a couple of words that I want to talk about. One of them is breakdown to breakthrough. Right? And I think, a lot of people, we were just talking about the country being split from West Coast to East Coast, etc. I think a lot of the country was split last year during the pandemic of people that just said, hey, this is now a breakdown based on the circumstance and the conditions and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden we saw a bunch of people break through where a lot of people were breaking down. What are these words mean to you, and what can you say about it? Because I think everybody does want a breakthrough regardless of where they're at right now.
One of the things that Chadi, I learned early on, when you're living on your own at 16, you like we said, you have to grow up quick. And especially when you don't have parents raising you, so you got to figure stuff out. So I really, at a very young age, I was really a student of self-development. See, a child's growing up. If they want to try and figure out what it means to be a human being, they have a parent to help them. But when you're on your own, like I was, you have to figure it out and go to other places. And so, I absorbed so much on these self-development programs. And one of the ones I'll never forget, they talked about that distinction about breakdown equals breakthrough. As a matter of fact, you really cannot have a breakthrough without a breakdown, just like you can't have the front of your hand without the back of your hand, and you can't have cold water without hot water. So it's the distinction of the other that empowers each other. So I put that up during the pandemic because a lot of people, like you were saying, they're in this space of breakdown. It's, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I run my business? Now, the some people, they got lost in the breakdown. They didn't have a breakthrough. They left the business. Some of them, and we see this, by the way, in all industries. As we started to go out into the world, we saw other industries, whether it be restaurants or whatever, that they had to reinvent how they do their businesses based on the pandemic. And in some cases, they became stronger because of those reinventions. I.e., if we look at real estate, I mean, before the pandemic, we would never tell agents to do a listing appointment on Zoom. Right? You got to go see the house. You got to sit down. You got to open up your visuals. Now it's even after the pandemic, we're not there yet. But even when it's done, I say that's one of the elements in our business that's going to stay. That it's an option and wouldn't be so wackadoo to do a listing appointment virtually. So that would be the breakthrough. So, so breakdowns are a good thing. I taught my son when we were it's along that same lines. I was playing, teaching him checkers when he was really young, and I always played full out Chadi. Like I didn't help my son win, so he would get very frustrated and he would want to quit. And I'd say, Michael, don't quit. I wanted to teach him, Chadi, not to quit. So, and then the second thing I said to him, Michael, you learn from your mistakes. That's a good thing. You'll get stronger. Embrace it. Well, after several more games, Chadi, my son did a 3 jump on me, bing, bing, bing. And I looked honestly astonished because I was playing full out. I didn't give him that. I didn't see it coming. And I had that stare on my face, and my son looks at me and said, Daddy, that's okay. You learn from your mistakes. I was like, thank God he learned the distinction I wanted to teach him. So breakdowns make us stronger. You know, when you get a pencil and it's dull out of the pack, right? How do you make it sharp is you got to give it friction. It's through the friction that it becomes a useful tool. And it's true for the real estate agent as well. It is through the challenges, through the frictions, it's through the breakdowns where you actually become stronger. So that's that.
So basically what you're saying is that we should embrace our breakdowns. We should take a look at them and say a breakdown is not just a breakdown, it's an opportunity because I am on the spring of having a breakthrough. One of the ways that one of my other mentors had defined that in the past, he said, you know, the definition of a breakthrough is nothing more than a series of well-managed breakdowns.